How many iPhones can fit inside a kangaroo's pouch? This question has confused scientists for centuries. If this question was answered, it would end all wars, solve world hunger, and teach pigs how to fly. Today, I intend to answer this impossible question. My name is Cynic Megabrain, and welcome to Big Brain Corporations, BBC for short. So, I know what you're thinking. How is it possible to answer such a complicated question? Well, tiny brained individual, allow my genius to explain. So, this is an iPhone. Like all objects, this iPhone has a size. Through extensive research, we have found out that this size is somewhere between 1 and 17 quadrillion centimeters. I do also understand that people in America use some other measurement system. However, I do not know how to convert between these two units. So if you happen to be American, consider buying a plane ticket to Europe immediately so you'll be able to understand this video. Now, a kangaroo also has a size. This size is presumably bigger than the size of an iPhone. I do not know. I have never seen a kangaroo in my life. Now, this is where we run into our first big problem. How does the kangaroo buy the iPhones? We all know that iPhones are expensive and kangaroos are poor. Look at this kangaroo. It has never made a penny in its life. Now, how do we solve this impossible issue? It may seem impossible to you, but nothing is impossible to a genius like me. Our team of professional scientists simply showed the kangaroo some finance videos on YouTube and it immediately became a billionaire. The kangaroo then built a factory and used its children as employees to make even more money. This would have solved the issue, but the kangaroo was sadly arrested for child labor. Oh well, one quick prison break later and we're back on track. Now, let's arrive at problem number two. How does the kangaroo buy the iPhones? It is a fact of life that kangaroos are stupid. All they do is mindlessly bounce around, unlike me. I am an intelligent specimen. Anyway, the kangaroo needs to learn how to use human currency. We reached out to a nearby school to ask them to educate our kangaroo, but sadly, discrimination against kangaroos is a very real problem, and it was rejected from the school. So, we decided on the next best option. We made the kangaroo run for president to change that stupid law against kangaroo education. It won by a landslide, of course. Now that the kangaroo is educated, we'll have to decide what kind of an iPhone will the kangaroo buy. This phone, or the Nokia, this masterpiece of technology, that Samsung, or the iPhone. For the sake of the experiment, we will choose the iPhone. Surely this problem can be solved now, but there is one last issue. How does the kangaroo carry the money? If you thought I could just carry it in his pouch, then you are silly. There will be no room left for the iPhones. And it can't just carry the money in his hand because it needs those to put the iPhones in the pouch. So, we bought the kangaroo a luxurious handbag for 98% of our budget and sent out an employee to give it to the kangaroo. He was immediately knocked out. Luckily, we sent another one. He was knocked out too. Retrieving them from the desert would have cost us about 20 €, so we naturally let them starve to death. Anyway, this causes us some issues. Not only is the kangaroo unable to carry the money, but it was also sued by the families of the victims for all it's worth. I'd buy the iPhones myself, but we've already spent 99.5% of our budget, so I guess we'll have to cut from the editing a little bit. So instead, I found a link online that promised me to give me free iPhones if I sent them my bank information. Now all money in my bank account is gone, but I'll get them back once they deliver my iPhone. For now, we have to rely on an alternate strategy. I told all my employees to leave their phones on my desk for today, so I'll just use those. If they complain, they're fired. Now that we have the iPhones, here is the kangaroo. At least I think it is. I have never seen a kangaroo in my life. I'll trust my employees on this one. All we need to do now is to stuff the iPhones in the kangaroo's pouch. There probably would have been an easier way to do this, but I don't know. I failed first grade. Now, this is where I would normally tell you the answer, but we just received news that the kangaroo has died because we did not feed it. 100% my employees' fault, of course. Sadly, the dead body can no longer be used for this experiment because, as we all know, corpses can't use iPhones. However, the big brain corporation never fixed anything, and we can't just leave that poor kangaroo without iPhone. It needs those to create alternate accounts so it can like its own social media posts. So I had to think of something else. And then I had the most genius realization of my career. We simply brought another kangaroo and used that one instead. However, I was too lazy to experiment on it, so I just used a random number generator and it gave me 30. Since I am too genius to fail at anything, this has to be the correct answer. Since we don't need the kangaroo anymore, I sent it to space for our future experiment. I hope you enjoyed this brilliantly intelligent video. Make sure to like and subscribe or you'll get knocked out by a kangaroo. And stay tuned for more amazing experiments from the big brain corporations, BBC for shorts. Thank you for listening.